Now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to just go over this quickly. I'm going to show you some testimonials from some of my former students that I had in class, just like you guys. Just like you. I go back, several years. And I love working with young people. It's so wonderful. It's so hard being in school today because of all the tests you have to take. I got so much respect for you, the way you rise for all these occasions. Now, I had this young fella here. The guidance department called me, and they said, Mr. Goss, we got a student. He wants to get tutored in history. He wants to get tutored in history. Can you tutor him? I said, sure, give me a telephone number. So I called up the mother. By the way, he told me that I can use all this in this course as a proof of concept. I called up the mother and I said, Mrs. Pellerin, I said, Mr. Goss, I'll be more than glad to come over and tutor your son. Now, he wanted tutoring on a particular lesson in the history book. Okay? I forget what the topic was. I said, sure, I'll be more than glad to come over. I said, but if you have me spend another hour with him, I'll show him how to study, and then we'll use that technique to do the lesson, and then he'll know how to study. You won't need tutoring anymore. You see, tutoring is for people that don't know how to study. If I teach you how to study effectively from textbooks, and you get all that confidence, you don't need tutoring. You're going to be empowered. Okay? So anyways, and that's what happened to him. So I went over to the house and I always asked the parents, can you sit at the table here and watch me and listen to me so that you can reinforce at home what I'm showing your child now. So I showed him how to use SQ4R, study skills, right? And several weeks, months went by, I ran into him and I asked him how things were going. And this is what he told me. I said, can you give me a testimonial? He said, sure. He said, after one class with Mr. Goss, my grades already started to improve. My notes went from 5+ pages to 3 pages, and with more information than ever before. My 70s went to high 80s, and my confidence in my classes soared. SQ4R changed my high school career and probably the rest of my life. That's life transforming. That's life changing. Now, I'm proud of that, but I'm not bragging about that. If I want to brag to you kids, I'll brag about my kids and my grandkids, especially my 4 little grandkids, okay? That's what I'll brag to you about that. But I'm only showing you this over here so you can see how effective these study skills are that I'm showing you, that I'm going to show you, okay? This is a testimonial to efficacy. You know what efficacy is? Efficacy is your level of effectiveness. Now, this, I love this one here. Danielle Castonguay came to me from Maine. She was in my biotech class. She was a little bit more mature than the other kids in class. And she wanted to go participate in the Quinsigamond College program, where you go, you take a test at the college, and they see how intelligent you are, and they put you into this dual program where you take college courses and you get credit, dual credit. You get credit for high school, you get credit for college, and that enables you to graduate from high school, and also it saves you money for 1 year of college. You don't have to pay for 1 year of college. Right? So it's a lot of schools provide that, and Mr. Otland is talking about doing that here if he doesn't already do it. But it's a dual program. Some places they call it the trio program. So she left, she went to Quinsigamond College, she started taking courses there, and then she'd come back to visit me. And I asked her, I said, Danielle, how are you doing? I'm doing fabulous. Are you using SQ4R? SQ4R really helps me. You see, this is what you're heading into. And this is why a lot of kids drop out of college. They don't know how to do this. Listen to what she said. SQ4R really helps me with studying because I review my notes after I'm done reading an assignment. I know exactly what I've read and what is the important information in the assignment. It also helps me organize and store important information in my memory so I can recall it during tests. As a result, I'm getting higher test scores and better grades in my courses. Now that I know how to use SQ4R, I have more confidence in school and less stress. That's one of our goals here today. I really feel like I can do well in any course that uses a textbook. Is that powerful or what? Right there. That's my ultimate goal with you. I want to show you how to study effectively from textbooks to get good marks on tests. And I want you to feel like you can do well in any course that uses a textbook. You can be whatever you want to be. Once you know how to study effectively, once you know how to separate what's important from what's not from textbooks, how to store that information in your long-term memory and recall it at test time, you can be whatever you want to be. And that's what happened to her. That's why I put that in here. Isn't that great? That's life-changing. So again, now this young fella here, Micah, this is good on the job too. These type of study skills. This young fella, nice kid, came from a big family. All the family, they all had biblical names. Micah was actually homeschooled for a while, but I had him in biology. Great kid. His father passed away tragically while he was in high school, left a mother with a big farm to take care of. So after high school, Micah went right into business, went right into work to try to help his mother. And he came back to visit me, and I said, how's SQ4R helping you on the job? This is what he said to me. He said, SQ4R has definitely helped me learn and remember a lot of new information associated with my new job. It helped me separate what's important from what's not important in the volumes of technical information I have to learn. He's a sales rep for Solar City. He sells solar systems. SQ4R has certainly made a difference in my learning experience and has given me more confidence in studying. Being in the job world now, I have definitely implemented SQ4R in my own life and would recommend it to others who are trying to be successful. This will help you on the job. You see, when you get out of high school, when you get out of college, you get a job, you're going to learn on the job how. The more knowledge you know about the business, the products, the competition, the markets, the more you know, the more quickly you can translate product features into benefits, the more valuable you are, the more money you'll make, rewarding career, get that nice little house with the picket fence. Okay? This will help you do that. Separate yourself from the pack. Now, Gabriella, I'm going to show you just a couple more here. I'm showing you how life-changing these skills can be. Right here. If you're seeking to reach another level within your academic performance, this will do it for you. Okay, now little Gabriella, and I had a sister too, wonderful girl, shy, quiet, came into class, and I had no idea that what I taught her had this type of an impact on her. I asked her one day, I said, are you using SQ4R? This is what she told me. She said, entering high school, I had no idea how to take effective notes. Before learning about SQ4R, my grades were very low because I did not have good study skills. She knows it. After learning about SQ4R, my grades improved tremendously. Not only could I take notes in a simple fashion, I could actually understand them. My test scores went from failing to all A's. SQ4R is the reason I've been on the high honor roll throughout high school. You believe that? I highly recommend that every student learns about and uses these study skills. That's life-changing. And then you can read Stephanie. Stephanie was one of my best students, had her in a couple of classes. She, SQ4R has guided me through high school since I first learned it in Mr. Goss's 9th grade biology class. You can read about that. But this one here is one that I want to just point out to you. Sarah Beth Mott had it for 2 years, biology and biotech. Now, this is what you're heading into down the road. This is the reason why a lot of kids drop out of college. 47% of kids that drop out due to academic failure. This is how SQ4R made her successful. She says, I just started my vet tech. She used to come back to see me all the time, this girl. And I miss it. I really do miss it. And I'm sure Mr. Chinapi misses the interaction with all the young people. It keeps you young, keeps you enthusiastic. I just started my vet tech courses this fall, and I got 7 textbooks to learn from, and I'm really appreciating SQ4R. If you go into college, you're going to find yourself in the same situation. I used to take a lot of notes and didn't know if they were important or not, but Mr. Goss taught me SQ4R. My notes are much shorter, and I know for a fact they pertain to the subject. As a result, I have a lot more confidence studying for a test and understand the subject matter more effectively. My test grades have definitely improved, and I feel more confident taking tests now. The end result is I'm taking less notes, studying less time, but gaining more knowledge. You see, that's what we want to show you to do. I don't want you to work harder. We want you to work smarter. You got that? You see, and that's a testimonial right there that these skills will do that for you. I highly recommend this studying technique for anyone in high school or college. It will really help you separate the wheat from the chaff. Separate what's important from what's not important. Okay? So again,
with all freshmen girls with the last name beginning from A to P, please report to the girls' locker room.
okay, now good, we're on track here. We're going to give you a nice break at 10 o'clock, and then we're going to put you to work. And we're going to come around and see how you apply what we teach you, okay? You got to practice, kids. The only way you're going to get better is you got to practice. Now, I think that's the last. Now, if you go to my website, and I gave you my business card, and I gave you some marketing information in there. My website, I changed my name of my website to 21st Century Study Skills, but if you type in www.successfulstudyskills.com, it'll bring you right to my website. If you go to my website, I've got about 3 dozen, close to 40 testimonials out there, student testimonials. You know, I can only collect so many, but I've trained over 1,000 kids on these techniques. And I was able to get about 3 dozen, 36 to 40 testimonials. So if you're interested in seeing how this affected other students, you can go out there and check on the testimonial section of my website and see what other kids like you experienced. Okay? Now, I thought this was an old Chinese proverb, but I started looking up. This is controversial. Some say it's an Indian proverb, and then I read it's an Italian proverb. Right? But most people lean towards the Chinese proverb. And I love this proverb. Did you ever hear this one before? If you give a person a fish, you're going to feed them for 1 day. If you teach the person how to fish, and you will feed them for a lifetime. Does that make sense? All right, we're going to teach you how to fish now. You ready? Do you have any questions on anything we've covered so far?